Hey folks, I'm John P.
And I'm Callie Lewis. Thank you guys for joining us. We've talked about enterprise space and security, but today it's all about us.
There's a lot of danger out there. How are people supposed to be protecting themselves?
Strong passwords.
You think?
Well, it's a good start.
They're hard to enter
Wait,
mobile.
especially on the one that is your LastPass password, which has everything else hooked up to
Right.
it.
Right. With the LastPass app, they have something that compromises the security, but you can actually just use a PIN number to unlock it instead of entering a full thing. But then that gets around the point of...
1Password had that. They got rid of it in the last version.
Yeah.
Password managers are only as secure as the master password. Period. It doesn't matter which one.
In my opinion, this is the biggest weakness in security that exists on Earth today. I can't overemphasize that. If you told me that you wanted me to try and gain access to your stuff, I am going to target your cell phone ruthlessly.
Would you rather lose your wallet or your phone?
Wallet.
My wallet.
Oh, my wallet.
Absolutely. We used to be worried about Big Brother, right? Or maybe we still are, but little brother is, I think, how you refer to it, Renee. Should we be worried about each other?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think that's a Cory Doctorow book where originally we were worried like the government would be surveilling us, but now, especially with stuff like Google Glass coming online or smartwatches or phones, the gyms near me, you're no longer allowed to take cell phones into the changing rooms because people are taking photographs of each other. And that's a concern. You know, it's easy to say try to control the government, but when everybody has a smartphone, your whole life could be documented without your knowledge or approval.
How do we keep our kids safe?
It scares the hell out of me. It really does. I think that comes down to more active measures. You need to actively know what your kids are doing, and the best way to do that is to actually be next to them and not use these devices as babysitters, right?
And it's going to be up to the companies to come up with solutions. Microsoft has it.
And we have them, yeah.
Yeah, they all have it now where you create an account for a minor and it restricts their store access. They can't buy things. And that's the master login for that phone, so then it's going to control everything. But they still can take photos maybe, you know, and uploads.
We
and
have
sharing.
parental controls and they're hugely granular, at least on iOS. You can turn off cameras, you can turn off like age restrictions and all those stuff, but do parents use it?
That's not going to keep them, that's not going to teach my kid who just learned her address and her phone number, our phone number. You know, don't go post that places, right?
Right.
And that's where these active measures come in.
How do we get parental controls? How do we protect the elderly, that generation beyond ours who are at the highest risk and being targeted more than anyone else?
We need better education of the people using these devices, and I think we need more responsibility of the service providers. There's no reason why Twitter should be allowed to just let these horrible DMs go through. Next thing you know, you've lost your password. Same thing for Facebook.
The one thing though is a lot of these stuff sounds scary, but you know, John has to get physical access to my phone, so you know, it's not as crazy as it sounds. People used to target senior citizens with telephone scams. They'd call them up and get them to write checks to them. So it's not a new thing. It's just as everything goes mobile, the scams and the security risks and everything is going with it, and we just can't assume the technology is protecting us any more than it used
It's
to.
so much easier to do.
Yeah.
But at the bare minimum, you know, like John said, lock your phone, use a password. I think a lot of people never enable the remote services. You know, so on BlackBerry, we have BlackBerry Protect. You guys can...
Yeah, find my iPhone.
And they're not as simple to do as they should be. Android, if you use Google Apps like we do for business, it's built in. But if you just buy a phone off,
Well, iOS
whatever
asks you
carrier,
when
it
you
might not
when
be
you
there.
turn it on for the first time, it asks you if you want to enable all that
Right.
stuff.
Well, those are some of the basics. Of course, all this week we are talking security, so keep coming back for more. Tomorrow we've got great stuff for you as well.
I'm John P.
I'm Callie Lewis. Bye.